Superstition Mountain is actually a collection of rough terrain that has gained the name of a single mountain. The contour of the region takes in thousands of cliffs, peaks, plateaus, and mesas, and even today, much of it remains largely unexplored. It is certainly not the highest mountain in the region, but it has the reputation of being the deadliest. The Apache Indians were probably the first to set eyes on the mountain, followed by the Spanish conquistadors, the first of which was Coronado. He came north from Mexico in 1540, seeking the legendary 7 golden cities of Cibola. When he reached the region, the local Indians told him that the mountain held much gold, although they refused to help the Spaniard explore it. They were in too much fear of the Thunder God, who was said to dwell there and who would destroy them if they dared to trespass upon his sacred ground. The Apache were angry over the Spanish presence on the mountain and in 1848 raised a large force to drive them from the area. The next day, the Spanish were taken by surprise. The Apache warriors attacked and massacred an entire company of Spaniards. The pack mules were scattered in all directions, spilling the gold and taking it with them as they plunged over cliffs and into the ravines. The Apaches were interested in the mules and not the gold. For years after, prospectors and soldiers discovered the remains of the burros and the rotted leather packs that were still brimming with raw gold. They then called that area Goldfield. Of all the mountain groups in the region, the Superstition Mountains themselves were considered sacred by the Indian. Is the answer really as the Apache Indians say? Does the Thunder God protect this mine, bringing death to those who attempt to pillage it? Located just east of Phoenix, Arizona, is a rough mountainous region where people sometimes go, only never to be seen again. It's a place of mystery, of legend and lore, and it's called Superstition Mountain. According to history, both hidden and recorded, there exists a fantastic gold mine here like no other that has ever been seen. It has been dubbed the Lost Dutchman Mine. Over the years, and thanks to its mysterious location, it has been the quest of many an adventurer, and a place of doom to luckless others. What strange energy lingers here? What has caused dozens of people who seek the mine to vanish without a trace? Many of the old mining camps and buildings around the Suspicion Mountains remain there to this day. Of course, nowadays there's many ways to get there. Superstition Mountain is actually a collection of rough terrain that has gained the name of a single mountain. The contour of the region takes in thousands of cliffs, peaks, plateaus, and mesas, and even today, much of it remains largely unexplored. Despite the tendency by many to call this a range of mountains, it is in reality only one. It is certainly not the highest mountain in the region, but it has the reputation of being the deadliest. Over the course of several centuries, it has taken the lives of many men and women and has perhaps caused a madness in them that had encouraged them to kill each other. A short walk through the mining camp, and out in the desert you can see the all-important and much-needed water tower. You can see how the Suspicion Mountains surround the camp and just beckon the miners to come and search for that gold. The old mercantile shop where they would purchase their supplies before heading out into the mountains. And you can even see the old ore cars that were used in the 1900s to haul ore around the mining camp. You can even see the chapel where Elvis Presley and Priscilla were married. This is Apache Land Studios, where John Wayne movies, The Big Valley, and The Rifleman were all filmed. And many of the miners that spent many days up in the mountains searching for gold would have to come back to the mining camp and visit the local brothel. Along came the Dutchman, Jacob Waltz. He was actually from Germany and born there in early 1800s. He came to America in 1845 and soon heard about the riches and adventures that were waiting in the frontier beyond New York. His first gold seeking took to him at a strike in North Carolina, and from there he traveled to Mississippi, California, and Nevada, always looking for his elusive fortune. This could also be Jacob Waltz. No one knows for sure. The Dutchman struck out and vanished into the land around the Superstition Mountain. Not long after, he was seen in Phoenix paying for drinks and supplies with gold nuggets. Some claim this gold was stolen, while others said that it was much higher quality and had to have come from somewhere else. Regardless of where it came from, he would spend the gold around town for the next 2 decades. It was said that Waltz had the richest gold ore that anyone had ever seen, and for the rest of his life, he vanished back and forth to his secret mine, always bringing back saddlebags filled with gold. By the winter of 1891, the old Mexican widow named Julia Thomas, who owned a small bakery in Phoenix, befriended the aged miner. Apparently, they became romantically involved, and Waltz was promised to take her to his secret mine in the spring. But she never saw it. The Dutchman died on October 25, 1891, with a sack of rich gold ore beneath his deathbed. After the lost Dutchman's death, his girlfriend Julia Thomas began selling maps around the area. The Spanish were selling maps around the area. Miners were selling maps to other miners. Everybody was in search of the lost Dutchman's gold. People were trying to generate wealth off of his legend. And in fact, 2 of the prospectors, Sims Eli and Jim Bark, spent the next 25 years searching in vain for what they called the Lost Dutchman mine. The search has since fueled more than a century of speculation. Theories as to the mine's location have filled dozens of books and pamphlets. Literally hundreds of would-be prospectors have searched the Superstition Mountain region only to come home with little more than sunburns. But there are also many who have not come home at all. There were a lot of mines that sprang up in the area in the 1900s, and many of these mines were quite successful. A lot of people that tried to make their home in Arizona found it to be quite unhospitable. They said that everything out in the desert will either poke you, stick you, or bite you. But many built their homes there and they found a treasure of their own, Arizona's natural beauty. A walk in Arizona can yield many treasures. You may go out in search of some gold and just find some peace of mind. One thing that's for certain, Arizona has a natural beauty that's truly a treasure to us all.